Welcome to Short Scale Modelling. This is part 7 of Academy and Airfix's PBY-5A. Scale is 172. And this is a comparison build, so I'm building both kits simultaneously to see how they differ. In part 7, I'm going to be placing all the little touches onto it, so all the aerials and putting the wings on the Airfix kit and moving that towards the end. So let's jump into this and see how well I get on. Starting off with the Academy one and on the third page. And here I'm just placing on the props that I painted in part 6. And I'm just placing them on now. There's a series of them to go on, about 4 in total. Now, depending on what version you do is what props you put on. Others are longer than the ones I'm putting on, and that's for the earlier version. I'm doing the later version. I'm using Tamiya's X10 gunmetal to paint the central part of the wheels, that's the hubcaps, before putting the two halves together. Again, I'm doing this on the sprue, and that's mostly just for the ease of handling. And for the tyres, it's light colour UA733 black rubber tyre black. For the main tyre itself. And now it's time to assemble the wheels and place them on. First of all, the forward wheel goes into its mount or carriage. Now, when that goes in onto the plane, the contact point to that is not brilliant. It's quite small. In actual fact, I didn't notice it until I was photographing it. It did actually bend down slightly. It should be upright, but it was, after a while, with a little bit of weight on it, it pushed it down. I think possibly I didn't let it dry long enough before flipping the model back over. And then the main wheels, they just get pushed on to the sides there. Again, you can use cement if you wish here, or you don't have to. All depends how you feel about it. I am using the cement, but they're tight enough for them not to pop off without it. And next to go on are the various aerials and props. The location points are not fantastic for these. You may wish to drill your own location areas for these. Switching over to the Airfix one. And I'm starting the third page of the instruction sheets here. So as you can see, I'm placing cement on these parts, and these are the weapons. So like the Academy mods, exact same process. I'm assembling them on the sprue before I take them off for the final fitting. Once the main body is made up, I'm putting on the tail end of the bombs. This is a circular one, and they just get pushed onto the crosshair at the back. I'm using Revel Aquacolor 05 matte white to paint the floats and the wings as well. I'm going to be using the colour throughout, as you have probably watched on the build, but at this particular time I'm going to be painting everything white. This is just to save a bit of time, and everything will be dry as I go on to the next stages. Then once it's dry, I use Hambros 32 dark grey to start the camouflage process on the top part of the wings and flaps. So it's just like the main wing that I did earlier, and I'm just following that pattern all the way through. Now, I did notice that I forgot to paint the black flash on the tail, so this is what I'm doing now. It's a little bit awkward. I'm using some Tamiya's 2mm masking tape for curves. It is very awkward to place on, and I'm not going to get a brilliant line here. It's completely my mistake. I should have painted this in before placing the wings on. Well, before I even assembled the unit completely. And I'm using Revel Aquacolor 08 matte black for the black flash. I'm now going on to the floats for the wings. These are simple makeup. The main float just has its top cap fitting on there. It's quite a good fit. There wasn't any issues. And then the main strut goes on to it afterwards. Now you can probably do this on the wing once the wing's built, but I thought it'd be easier building it beforehand. The instructions seem to indicate to build it on the wing, but I disagree with that. Next is to build up the flaps. It's just the two halves put together. Now you can place this on the wing before you assemble the wing, or you can place it on afterwards. It depends how you want to approach it. If you place it on afterwards, the instructions again are not exactly clear on this, but if you want movement, it's probably ideal to place it on afterwards. The reason for that is when the end cap part goes on, as you can see there, I'm just assembling the wing there. When the end cap part goes on, there's a location point at the end of it to hold the flap in place so that you get movement. So your end point is from the larger part of the wing. When it tapers down to the tip, that gets locked off with an end piece where the structure for the float is connected to. To be fair, it sounds complicated, and I think Airfix made it overly complicated for them what it really had to be. So once the main float is in, I'm placing on the little triangular cap. And once that was dried, I've moved on to this flap here. So I'm just testing the position of the end part of the wing to fit in. So as I said, the wider part of the wing gets slotted in first, and then you have to place this end piece on, and that holds the rudder and everything else into place. I think it is a little bit overcomplicated and a weird way to go around it. However, what I will say though is these floats fit really well once they're in place. In fact, I was surprised how well they fitted given the rest of the fit issues I've had with the build, and it enables the builder then to have these down or up in the up position at any one time. So now that's done, it's time to paint the remaining camo on the last part of the wings. So once more, it's Humbrol 32 dark grey for the darker shade of the camouflage bands, and for the main colour it's Humbrol 102 Army Green. This will need a couple of coats. As you can see, the first coat is already going down. I'm putting on the second coat now. Next is filling in the gap on the nose cone with a triangular piece, just like the Academy one. And then the brackets for to hold the weapon system go on. I'm putting these on before I attach the wings. This is just for ease. The instructions are not 100% clear when you should do this, but I think while it's still manageable at this stage, it's better to do so. And next is to place on the remainder parts of the wings. These wings are connected a lot better, I think, than the Academy ones. So the fit issues, I didn't have any here at all. They were quite easy to push together and create the bond. Unlike the Academy one, I just supported them while the wings were drying. Now I can place on the little aerial. That's the thing that was underneath the masking tape, which is attached to the wing just before I put all the wings together. As you can see, that's the exact same place as the Academy one. There was no fitting issues. I'm just making sure the wings are okay to put some pressure onto them. And then it's over to the underside again, and I'm just placing the weapons in the cradles. Then it's back to the Academy, and I'm going to be giving everything its own coat of clear varnish from Pledge. So everything's going to get a liberal coat of this, and it's the same for the Airfix kit also. So it's now time to put on the decals, and I've fast forwarded this process like I normally do. The decals are placed on with using a decal solution, and I use microset for this. I didn't use any microsol because there wasn't too many contours for the decals to bed into, so the microsol is all I needed. Also, I should point out that I decided not to wither these models because they're going to be going into storage after I've built them, so that's why you won't see me withering them. And I'll just finish off putting these decals on. and this as well in part 7. So if you haven't done so already, why don't you check out the channel for my other builds? If you subscribe to the channel, please do so. Hit the notification bell as well, that way you'll be kept up to date not only with this build but all my future builds as well, of course. Hit the like button, don't be afraid to leave a comment, and of course you can share the video. But for now, thank you all very much for watching. Bye bye.